Robert-Falcon Ouellette is proving to be a thorn in the side of his own Liberal government. Now he's raising questions about the permit the feds have granted to the Site C Dam. The dam will block the Peace River in northern British Columbia, transforming a long swath of farmland and traditional First Nations territory. We reached Robert-Falcon Ouellette in Winnipeg.
Mr. Ouellette, what has prompted you to take this stand against your own government?
Well, I haven't, I don't know if I've taken a stand against my government. What I've done is I've met with a group who came to Winnipeg. I met with some constituents who were advocating on their behalf, and then this caravan, or Indigenous people from the Peace River area of British Columbia, came through Winnipeg and met with me, and I heard their concerns, and they felt they hadn't been consulted properly, and then had enough appropriate discussion with them concerning the building of a dam on their traditional territory, and the flooding of some of their lands as well. And so, I said at the end of it, I said I would take their concerns to Ottawa and I would advocate on their behalf.
Things that are specific and that violate treaty rights should be heard by the rest of the parties, especially with key players, especially when it impacts and violates our treaty rights and our ability to pass that on to our children and our grandchildren, because it's a huge decision. It shouldn't be signed off by some regional director and not be put in front of the DFO minister or other important people, because it's huge and it's a part of that new relationship. So it's changing that process, because that can't keep happening.
Our treaty says at the bottom, as the sun shines and the river flows and as the grass grows, intended for forever, not because, oh, here's another paper, here's a license, here's a permit, here's a license in here, and continuing to say, and then bury our treaty. That's not, I don't think it was intention from our forefathers and your forefathers when they signed treaty or been a part of treaty. Their intention was to think of, like what Helen says, for future generations like us. And then we're thinking 4 generations ahead too. What are we leaving behind?
If you have all the information and you have a point of view, I'll convey your point of view and your information to the people I think who need to hear it. And I'll make sure I get the ear of the person who should hear about what you have to say. You have my word on it.
No sightseeing! No sightseeing! No sightseeing!
Some of your colleagues, like Jody Wilson-Raybould, who's a cabinet minister, she had protested against this Site C dam. She was among those who were criticizing it in 2012. She said that it was among the kinds of things the government was doing, was running roughshod over the rights of Indigenous people. And she said there are other ways to create power and there are other ways to preserve power. It doesn't involve destruction of pristine valleys. So these were strong statements that members of the now government said about this project. And so what do you think that they should do? What advice are you taking back to your government?
My role as a parliamentarian is to raise those issues and give voice to those who believe they do not have a voice.
If you're not satisfied with that proper briefing, what will you do?
Continue to advocate on behalf of the people of the Peace River.
Even if it goes against the will of your government?
I gave my word.